So welcome to part one of my playthrough of This War of Mine. It's the first time I've played it solo, so it'll be quite interesting to see how it goes. So I'm going to be playing through the journal. So I've used the book to set up, setting it up on the easy side or the easier side. It's now told me that I need to turn over. So for the morning event, draw and resolve the top card from the events deck. Do not forget to add the cold tokens to the cold space on the board as described on the reveal event card. Now it says next player here, but I'm playing solo, so it'll be me. These are our objective cards. Determine the objectives for each of the 3 chapters of the campaign. Find a final objective card in the objectives deck. Right, so I've set those up already. So find a final objective card in the objectives deck and place it on the objective space on the draw. Then draw 2 more objective cards and place them on the final objective. These cards should be placed face up and you may look at them any time during the game. Remove the remaining objective cards from the game. At the end of each chapter, resolve any reward penalty from the corresponding objective card. After determining the objectives, draw the top event card. So we have help the sick and wounded in our area. At any moment, you may discard any number of meds, bandages, without resolving their effects. For each discarded meds or bandages, advance the objective marker by 1. Reward, help, lower all characters' misery by 2. Penalty, epidemic, raise all characters' illness by 1. Collect vegetables for the refugees. At any moment, you may discard any number of vegetables, and for each one discarded, move it along. We can then remove any 2 rubble or rubble remnant cards. And if we fail, raise all characters' misery by 2. After you resolve this card, remove it from the game. So we'll just put it over to the side. So I've got to draw the top event. Add 2 cold to the cold space. 1, 2. Rat infestation. Discard all green tokens from the storage except for canned food, moonshine, and 100% alcohol. I'm already suffering hunger too, and now I've just lost all my raw food. Then, if during the next dawn phase you have a deadfall trap with a weight token on it, this trap provides 1 additional raw food. After you resolve this card, remove it from the game. So we've done the morning, so we've drawn the event. We're now in the day. A new day begins. Outside is an outgoing conflict and sniper bullets for us. We cannot leave the safety of our shelter, but there are improvements to be made. We should make this place feel more like home. We can use beds, a stove, or even a radio. But first we'll need to clear some space. Hopefully, we might find something useful in this rubble. Day actions. 3 actions. Each character may perform up to 3 actions. Only 1 character can be placed on any fittings. So I should actually take this time to introduce the characters that I have. In this game we are playing with Katia, Anton, and Pavel. And as you can see, they've been instructed to have hunger 2 on them. So for day's actions, I'm going to have Pavel come down and poke around a bit. I will have Katia using a shovel to try and clear that rubble. And Anton is going to search that heap. So place a character on a chosen shelter card. The result of an action on a shelter card is resolving its back. Okay, so let's start with Anton. You gain 1 weapon part, 1 sugar, 5 components, 2 wood. Add these to the storage and remove this card from the game. Katia is going to dig through the rubble. We have a shovel. Rubble remnants. Dig through. Dig through requires a shovel. So it looks like this is actually going to take 2 actions to do. So I may as well spend her second action and get rid of that. And then Pavel down here is poking about any number of characters at the same time. Roll the black dice for each character placed here and add the following to the storage. So black dice is the die 10, and then we have 3 other 6-sided dice. So I'll roll once, 5, 2 wood or components. I might add 2 wood. So Katia's done her 2 actions. I suppose Anton will move over here, search this heap. Over here we have a storage box that components and wood only can be put in here. So for each one I've got in there, I actually have 5. So that's Anton's second action. Katia's had her 2 actions. And I think we've got... I might have a look, see if there's anything that we can build. So we actually have fittings that we can make. So we can make a bed, crude stove, deadfall trap, herbal garden, metal workshop, moonshine still, radio, rainwater collector, simple heater or workshop. Now we've got access to all of the blueprints basically for this. Bed, good for taking a nap. Crude stove, good for cooking. We have no food except some sugar. Deadfall trap. Unfortunately, we have no chems or raw food. Otherwise, we could be eating something plus a rat. We do have 2 cold. So I'm wondering whether we have enough to make a fire, to simple heater, to build a simple heater, 5 components and 3 wood. So I think we'll build a simple heater over here. So we've built a simple heater here. Now that's all of their 2 actions. You may choose any fitting, but only from the deck of the fitting space. You should familiarize yourself with both sides of the fitting cards. Place a fitting card on any empty space in the shelter, meaning any space without a card or action or without the guard or sleep. So there's sleep on the floor, Guard's probably up there somewhere where the doors are. Place the character on it and discard the required resources, which I've done. After that, flip it face up. We're now in dusk. The sun has disappeared beneath the horizon. Shadows and darkness now rule over the city. It is a bit safer to go out at this time, but first we must regain some strength. Each character should drink 1 water. And we only have 2 water. We have 3 characters. For each character, so we will have Pavel and Katya. Anton will have to go without. So each character should drink 1 water. Then we raise, for each character that did not drink, roll the black dice. So Anton, a 4, raises his hunger by 1. So his hunger goes from 2 to 3. And then his hunger goes to 4. Wow, what a start to the game. Anton is at hunger 4. See hunger epilogue C645. So I assume it's in here. Find a character on the list whose state has reached level 4. Anton, C1097. Anton will never receive his award. His students sacrifice in vain. He did not manage to survive. Theorems he could prove and students he could lead, even inspire. But none of that matters now as they are all gone. Remove this character from the game. Back to the game. Wow. I haven't even got through the end of turn 1 and I've already lost 1 character. Ah, those rats hurt. Alright, so that's dusk. So we're now in the evening phase. Before nightfall, we must decide who will stay in the shelter to regain strength or guard the door, and who will venture into the ruined city. We can only hope to scavenge some food, meds, and other necessary materials. Assign each character 1 of the 4 available tasks. Sleep in a bed, sleep on the floor, guard duty, scavenging. I might send Pavel out to scavenge, and Katya may do some, I don't know, guarding, I think. Right, guard duty. Place any number of characters on the guard space to defend the shelter from attacks during the night raid phase. The higher the prowess of a guard, the better. In that case, I might actually put Pavel on the guard over here, because he has a prowess of 1. And I might then have Katya to go out and scavenge. So she heads up to there. But she will gain a fatigue. So she's going to get a fatigue, so she's now lost an action. And Pavel, he will also gain a fatigue. I'm beginning to think that part 1 may be the only part. Scavenging phase. It is safer to move around the city at night. Shots can still be heard, but only sporadically. You strap your backpacks on tightly and leave your shelter. Carefully, you pick your way through the ruined shops and houses that line the shelled streets. Scavenging. Choose a location. Choose one of the 3 available locations and move all the characters taking part to one of them. I think we may go to the small house up here. Ruined block of flats. Has rubble, jam door, basement entrance. Special findings, 1 to 4 nothing, mechanical part, coffee, vegetables. She likes coffee, so yeah, I'll stay here. If there are any weapons, no, I have no weapons. Or equipment like a lockpick in the storage, you may assign these tokens. Maybe she'll take the shovel with her. Right, place the noise marker on 1. Whenever the game tells you to raise or lower the noise, move the marker on the track up or down respectively. Right, prepare the unknown deck and explore. Draw as many exploration cards as shown on the location space of the location you chose. So in this case it'll be 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are unknown. Now resolve these cards one after the other. You may ignore this card or poke about. Return 1 exploration card or roll for noise. So whenever the game tells you to return exploration cards, return them face down without looking at their fronts to the exploration deck. So it looks like I can return one of these from my unknown pile, or I have a chance of rolling for noise. Choose 1 findings from the special items chart for this location. I'm going to put this one over here to choose 1 findings. So in this case, we have nothing, a mechanical part, coffee or vegetable. Now, unfortunately, I think to play in character, Katia is very much all about the coffee, so she's going to get a coffee. So it's placed in the findings. Now, Katia only has an inventory of 3, so she's only going to be able to carry 3 things back, and one of them is going to be the shovel that she has decided that she needs. Or she decided to take with her, I should say. Alright, the next card. Stairs down. Look for another way. Return 3 exploration cards or enter. Raise the noise by 3 and roll for the noise. 1, 2, 3. I need to get her safe home. Next card. You may ignore this card or hide out. Return as many exploration cards as you wish and lower the noise by that amount. I'm not going to worry about that. I can ignore that because my noise is still at 1. You may ignore this card. Return 2 exploration cards to place it on the exploration slot and use it any time during the scavenging phase. After rolling for the noise, you may discard this card. I only have 2, so I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, map card. Closed door. Check the current location card for closed door. It has rubble, jam door, basement entrance. If there is no closed door, discard this card and draw a new card from the exploration deck. So that gets discarded. Map card. Check if there is an open space. If there's no open space, discard this card and draw a new one. Jam door. Yes, there is a jam door. If there is a jam door, you may resolve this card immediately or place it on their exploration slot and resolve it later instead of drawing a new. Jam door, kick in. Return 1 exploration card and raise the noise by 3 and roll for the noise. After entering, add 3 cards from the exploration deck to the unknown deck. Draw and resolve 1 finding card, furniture chart. Then discard this down, jam door. Alright, so I can kick it in, making some noise. And I can add 3 more cards here. I might just find out what this last one is first before I go kicking in that door. Private. You may ignore this card or search the heap. Return 2 exploration cards and raise the noise by 1, or raise the noise by 1 and roll for the noise to draw and resolve 1 card from the findings deck. Well, I have no cards to discard, so I think I'm going to have to raise the noise by 1 and then roll for noise. Whenever the game tells you to roll for the noise, roll the black dice. If the result is equal to or less than the current noise, an encounter is immediately triggered. So my noise, goes from 1 to 2, and I roll a 2, of course I do. If the result is equal to or less than the current noise, an encounter is immediately triggered. Set the noise back to 1. Draw and resolve the top card from the resident deck. After resolving the resident's card, resume scavenging. Oh, rats! What is it with these rats? Oh, phew! It was nothing, just some rats. You may return 1 exploration card to try and catch one. Technically, I actually don't have a card, so I can't try to catch one. If I'd been able to use my hiding place, but I couldn't. I don't think I removed this from the game because I haven't done the backstab, so I'll just put that down there in the discard pile. But I have drawn one from the findings deck heap chart. Heap, 2 mechanical parts and a book. So 2 mechanical book. Then roll a black dice for the special findings and see the current location card for the result. 4, nothing. Add the tokens to the finding pile. Afterwards, shuffle this card back into the findings deck. Alright, I can come back to this jam door, but as I was talking about before, I've only got 3 inventory, and the book and the coffee, they don't have a weight symbol. while a mechanical part and the shovel do. And she can only carry 3, and I've got 3 there. So I think I might not worry about the kick door. I'll shuffle that back in. Right. Once you've finished the exploration, shuffle all exploration and resident cards into the decks. At the moment, you may add any resources, wood components, and water to the findings pile as you wish. You can bring, so I can find some water. You can bring back a total weight of tokens, resources, including the equipment and weapons you brought with you, equaling to the total inventory of all characters. So in this case 3. The weight of heavy tokens is shown as 1 on the weight icon. If it doesn't have it, it's considered 0. Each resource, wood, water, or component weighs 1. Everything you cannot carry, you have to leave behind and discard. Characters with their findings will make their way back to the shelter and the dawn phase. Before that, the night raid occurs. So I'll be able to take the coffee and the book because they weight 0. I think I might leave 1 mechanical part behind and go for a water. So we've got some sort of water to... I think maybe if I can be trying to build a... actually, what does... build a rainwater. 1 filter. Could look at building a herb garden soon. Or a workshop. So I've somehow got to get a filter. Alright. So exploration card shuffle back in. So we go to the night ride phase. So I think I'm going to leave the mechanical parts so they can get discarded. Alright, choose weapons for the guards. If you possess weapons, I have no weapons. I have a weapon part, but nothing. Draw and resolve the top card of the Night Raid deck. Night Raid. Memories. Choose a character currently on guard duty. Check their misery, which is 0, and roll the black dice. So this is Pavel. So in this column here, 0 to 1. A 3. 657. Find that number in the book of scripts. Resolve the corresponding text. Afterwards, shuffle this card back in. 657. All this shelling, sniper fire, and lack of supplies. It just makes you want to hide away, sit down and cry. But we can't let them crush our spirits. We have to show them that they can't take away our dignity. It's difficult here, but you know how we did it on the street. Back to the game. So, uneventful. So, that looks like I've gotten through the night raid phase. Right, with each passing night, the situation is getting more grim. During setup, night raid and residence card with a red corner were set aside. If there are any of these cards left, shuffle 2 of any combination night raid or residence into their corresponding decks. So I'm going to take 1 of each. dawn. The scavenging party returns. Move all the characters in the scavenging party back into the shelter and place all the tokens resources they bought into the storage. Assign meds and bandages, don't need to. Draw a fate card. Draw and resolve one fate card. Ignore the bottom part marked with a die. When a fate card tells you to exchange a location card, remove that card from the game, then slide the remaining location cards down so that the far space is empty. So that number there, 10, is because it's far. It took us longer to get there. That's why we had less time to explore for 10 as opposed to 12 or 14. Oh, cool. Draw a fate card. Raise the wounds of all wounded unbandaged characters by 1. That's nobody. Heal the wounds of all characters who are bandaged by 1. Nobody. Discard bandages token from all characters. None of. If cold tokens minus board ups equals 3 or more, raise the illness of 3 chosen characters by 1. We have 2 cold, so we don't have to worry about that yet. Exchange the nearest location. Close, distant, far. So I assume nearest is this one here. Resolve weight tokens. Unfortunately, I don't have any. Resolve spirit B on all character cards. Alright. On Katia B, if there is a guitar in the storage, lower one chosen character's misery by 1. Nothing, so no effect. And Pavel, if Pavel is wounded, raise his misery by 1. Nope. Nothing there. Afterwards, shuffle this card back into the fate deck. And that is the end of turn 1. No, it's not. So I've drawn and resolved the fate card. Draw 2 narrative action cards, read them, choose one and shuffle the other back into its deck. Narrative actions. Resourceful. Play when crafting any fitting. Ignore the requirements of one of the resource token types. Like a mouse, plays during the scavenging phase instead of rolling for noise. I want water. That's gonna help me potentially get my water. What's my water filter? My rainwater collector. 1 filter, 1 mechanical part, 5 components, 2 wood. Right, I'm going to take resourceful. So I'll put that down there. So I've drawn 2, choose one and shuffle the other one back into it. Next player, let us look back onto the past day. How did we do? What will we do next? What must be scavenged or traded? What should we build? And let's see what tomorrow will bring us. Start a new day. See the morning phase. Well, I might leave it there. That was my first day. Rats. More rats. And poor old Anton. So hopefully in part 2 we will have a better time as we remember to now, because I'm just going to put this on my resourceful card over here. Not that I've built it yet, but it's just as a reminder that that's what I'm going to use that for. because my memory is not always the best. Hopefully you'll join me for part 2. And until then, goodbye.